you if you want to talk about the 4th of July and fireworks and, stirring things up and taking back New York City disaster. We have carjackings here in Manhattan North up 4,400% since 2018. We have subway crime up 200% just in the last 4 weeks. New York is going to pot. But we have somebody here who might be able to help us and save it. And she's running against AOC in New York's 14th Congressional District. Is that right, Tina Forte?
Yes, it is. How are you?
It's us. It's good. It's such a pleasure to have you on the show. You're a Spitfire. So how are you going to take back New York and win this race?
Well, we're winning this race with grassroots movement. There's a lot going on in New York City. A lot of people want change. I've been knocking door to door, and believe it or not, people want to sign the petition to get on the ballot, but they're saying, I'm a Democrat, but I want to vote for you. So that's where I see the real change is when I'm actually in the street speaking with the people, whether it's at a parade or a rally or just knocking door to door. You see the change. People want the soft on crime to go away. They want the cops to be able to do their job. They want the mayor to step up and do his job. No one's doing their job. AOC is nowhere to be found. Feces are being flung in people's faces. That is a national health crisis. Where's Fauci for that? Where's Fauci? There's feces being thrown in people's faces. People are being stabbed in their heads. People are being thrown in front of a subway. No one's doing anything about it.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I'm not an Eric Adams fan. Nothing's improved. He's mayor for 4 months already, 3-4 months. I don't see anything getting better. Businesses are getting crushed in New York City. It is not the same city. No. I like that you're not afraid to tell the truth, and you're not really a political animal, right?
No, I'm not a politician at all. Not a politician. Yeah. So the establishment does important. Not much.
Yeah, we're in a jam out here in Suffolk County, and I'll get into it later on the show. But I'm being asked to support somebody who has a terrible voting record, and I'm really upset, that the GOP is supporting this guy. And we need real leadership. We need somebody who will, really fight and take the gloves off. Tell us about where your district is, and you go up into the Bronx too. You're not just Brooklyn, where AOC, Mocha Capalata, Chino, phonies are.
Yeah, it's Bronx and Queens. It's not Brooklyn. It's Queens. It's Jackson Heights. It's Astoria. It's what used to be Throgs Neck and Country Club. I think they took that out with the gerrymandering, so it's Morris Park, it's Parkchester, so it's different sections of the Bronx and Queens. They did a lot of gerrymandering in my district.
Tell us about your background. You've been active for a number of years now. How did you get started?
I got started after I got out of the hospital with COVID. I had COVID in March of 2020, right after my 50th birthday. My doctor prescribed me hydroxychloroquine. They prescribed me a Z-Pak. Governor Cuomo signed the executive order banning it. I have an underlying condition of asthma. My doctor really pushed hard for me to get the prescription, and that executive order just killed it. And 3 days later, my son found me slumped over, and I had double pneumonia. My oxygen was 85%. I had blood clotting, and I was rushed to the hospital.
Yeah, I have a close relative who was refused ivermectin and suffered from pneumonia for 3 months. And she was a nurse in Sloan Kettering, so she understands the truth.
Yeah, I know the truth too. My daughter's a vascular technologist. She knew the truth all along also. She was trying to get to see me in the hospital, and they wouldn't even let her up to see me. I was just by myself in a room because at the very beginning of COVID, I already had a positive test going into the hospital, but everyone else didn't. So I was literally alone. And if I even tried to call someone or try to get up to walk to the room, they would yell at me, go back in your room, go back in your room, like I had the plague. And the doctors, they just didn't really want to help me. That's why my daughter kept calling. They were afraid to come and check on me and tell me what was really going on because they did not know what was going on. They did not know how to treat me.
Yeah, I believe the hospitals are the new prisons. The new gulag. I was in the hospital recently, and I couldn't have anybody advocate for me, and I had to fight tooth and nail for everything. I'm very upset about it, and our loved ones and our elderly still cannot be visited in our nursing homes. And you don't have a surrogate, you don't have an advocate, you die in the hospital. Um,
Exactly.
so
And
I
things are
just
changing.
yeah, I just wanted to let you tell us what's your strategy. How are you registering people to vote? How are you going to take this thing?
My strategy right now is strictly grassroots. We're going door to door. We're taking it to the people, taking the fight to the people. As you know, I was not endorsed by the parties. I wasn't expecting to be endorsed by the parties because I'm not a butt kisser. I'm a butt kicker. I didn't use the A word, okay? So I knew
Yeah,
right from there. As soon as I said I was going to run, I already knew I wasn't being endorsed because I am not a politician, and that's what they want. They want people to kiss up to them. You have a small part of leadership of the party chairs, and they don't speak for the thousands of people that I see
no,
every weekend while I'm at rallies. They do not speak for us. So it's more of the same in New York. Just going to be more of the same if we do not come out, we do not vote, and we do not get our people, and people need to register Republican. That's very big. People that I'm speaking to, they do not register Republican. Their unions tell them not to put an R next to their name. They tell them to put independent next to their name. They tell them to put working families next to their name. And guess what that does? That makes you not be able to vote in the primary. You don't see them saying, oh, make sure you register to vote by February 14th and change your party so you can have a say in the primary. No, it's whoever they christen, whoever they choose. And that has to stop. The establishment needs to not have a say. It's we the people now that have to stand up and take our country back.
yeah. So, by the way, we love Brian Graham. You've got great representation there. I got to tell you, I have the same problem out here on Long Island. With the party politics, and I've been involved for like 37 years, and I'm just fed up. And I wanted to ask you. You have a huge social media following, right?
Yes, I do. It was a lot bigger, but they're banning me off everything.
Well, are you on Truth Social yet and Getter?
Yes, I did. I got on. I finally got on. I'm on
Good. Tell
there.
our viewers where they can follow you on all the major big tech platforms.
You can follow my campaign on Getter. You can follow it on Twitter. It's Tina 40 USA. And my website is tina40forcongress.com. I have a Twitter page. I'm everywhere. I have a Twitter. I have Truth Social. I have the Parlor. Trying to think of all of them. All my rants are on Telegram. I'm like all over the place because they shut me down. My Facebook, I'm already back in Facebook jail. They took me out of Facebook jail January 1st, and I'm back in again. But I was in for a year. So every time I come out, they take me back in.
Yeah. I think that Facebook and Twitter's days are numbered. I think they violated the public trust and the big tech antitrust of cloud services combined with big tech algorithms and social media platforms. They're violating free speech. All right. So are you working with Scott Pressler at all, registering voters?
I met him a few times. I was at a rally with him, but no, I don't work with him one-on-one.
Okay. We have about 2 minutes left. Tell us what the big issues are for your constituents and what are you going to bring to this congressional race?
The big issues are crime and safety. That's my biggest issue in New York. Right now, it's crime and safety. I want to lower taxes. I want to cut regulations on businesses. I own a business. I know what this is about. I want everyone to stop being afraid of what's going on and go out, breathe the fresh air, live your life, and let's stop voting in these Democrats. Let's stop with the New York establishment. It's the same over and over again. That needs to end. New York is being screwed over because of the establishment. So we need changes. We need change. It's never going to change unless we get people like me and America First candidates. The non-political. I'm not a politician. Those are the people you want in office. We need to give the cops back their immunity. Okay, they defunded the police $1 billion. We need to give them their money back to do their jobs. That's what I'm about. That's what I'm for. I'm fighting for the people. I want to be their voice in New York.
Yeah, I think the municipal unions, the fight is really against the institutional bureaucracy of the municipal unions, you know, the MTA, the teachers. They give money to both parties. Both parties fight for the money and guarantee these ridiculous contracts and stuff. And I think outside of the New York Fire Department and the New York Police Department, we need a freeze on all the other things, you know.
I had a rally not too long ago for the schools. There was 10 regions of New York, and I actually had a list of every school district and how much they sold our kids out for. So whether it was Portchester, 20 million, Nanuet, 4 million, I made a list and I read it out to everybody because that's exactly what's going on, and it needs to stop. And they need to be called out on, held accountable.
We have fourth grade teachers out here making $200,000 a year, and they're total libs, brainwashing our kids. I had a big fight with a fourth grade history teacher. What a moron.
Congress holds the power of the purse. So if they continue to do what they're doing with the CRT, the masking, we should hold the federal funding because we have the power of the purse. Congress does.
So, Tina Forte, in 10 seconds, what's your website again?
TinaForteForCongress.com.
Okay, FORTI, right?
No, FORTE.
Yeah, T. I'm sorry, FORT. Okay. I knew that. All right, thank you, Tina. Listen, we're going to have you back. This is going to heat up. Got to take out AOC. Thank you so much for coming on, everybody. You're watching Breaking Point on Real America's Voice News, and when we come back, we have an Ohio U.S. Senate candidate for you. Stay tuned.